right. Guess what, guys? Guess what? Can you guess? I bet you can't. I bet you cannot guess. I got a new battery, a 9-volt battery for my headphones. You never would have guessed that, right? You're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But yeah, I came home. I was going to do a podcast tonight for the Tuesday morning release, and I realized I still hadn't got a battery yet. How long has it been? A couple weeks now since I didn't have a 9-volt battery. So, I jumped up and went to the store and got a battery just now, 9-volt. That's what it takes. I still don't have a power adapter for this thing. I need to buy one because that would be a little more convenient. I thought I would have something sitting around the house. Caleb and I looked for it eons ago to try and get a power cord so we didn't have to worry about this fucking battery all the time. But for some reason, I don't know what it was. I think we just always forgot to turn it off. But when Caleb and I were together, this battery would never last. I mean, we'd do one show, and the next show would be like, what the hell happened to the battery? There's no battery life. The light would not come on. So I have somehow figured it out, and I can go, I mean, hell, I've gone probably, I don't even know what I'm on now as far as solo episodes. I think I've gone 20, what's this episode going to be? This is going to be 45 maybe. I have to go into my folder here and take a look. To my D drive. Let's go right here. Yeah, this can be number 45. So I think I have gone 20 plus episodes solo. And I think I did all those on one 9-volt battery. Whereas previously, the previous 20 plus episodes as a duo, I think we did, 4 batteries that we went through. It was insane. It was insane. But here we go. I have a new battery. My headphones sound great. I started doing the podcast tonight without the headphones, and I said, man, I just can't do it. So I stopped the recording, and I jumped in the car, and I went to the store. I need to get some dog food anyways, guys. So it was a good trip. Got some dog food, got a 9-volt battery. So now you guys are all caught up. I got the video going. Again, guys, I don't know. It's going to work eventually. It's going to work. But I think, again, these computers are the limiting factor. I've been looking on the Facebook Marketplace. I've been looking at some different computers. I actually texted Caleb earlier, yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I retexted him today because he didn't answer. And I asked him what his specs were on his MacBook. So I've been looking at the Facebook Marketplace, looking at some MacBooks, some used stuff, and I was trying to find out what Caleb's specs were on his MacBook because these seemed to work fine. He had no problem rendering video, so I got his specs. I'm going to compare it against some stuff that I've seen on the Marketplace and see if we can get a new computer to make sure that I get video on every episode because I really want to do that. I want to do it for myself and also for you guys, but for me, first and foremost, because I'm the most important. I am the most important. Ooh, that made a lot of noise, I'm sure. Picking up some change off the table. Just got back from Wine and Tapas and Homegrown Brewhouse, 117 South Main Street, Homegrown Brewhouse. We have 40 taps on the wall. We do package sales as well, bottles and cans. Some glassware. I mean, you can kind of pretty much get anything. We got a new food menu that we started 2 weeks ago. It's doing very well. We're going to add, I'll get into it. But yeah, went to Wine and Tapas tonight. Every Monday they are doing, and I don't know the address over there, but it's right down the road, right down the sidewalk actually from Homegrown Brewhouse. So if you go to 117 South Main Street to Homegrown Brewhouse, all you got to do is walk about 5 businesses down on the sidewalk there, and you can get to Wine and Tapas. Every Monday they do an acoustic Monday with Fleming Moore and Friends, I guess is what, I don't think that's the official name of it, but that's what I'm calling it. So Fleming Moore comes out there with Tanner, and they're kind of the dynamic duo. Every place they go, they kind of do their thing. And there's a little hum. Is there a hum? Can you guys hear the hum? I don't know. I'm going to get back to Wine and Tapas, but I actually turned the fluorescent light off tonight that's on the ceiling to see if maybe I could get rid of the hum that was going on. But I still kind of hear a hum somewhere, and I'm not sure where that hum is coming from. So I don't know if it's picking up on the mic or not, but we'll see in the post editing. But I've got some sort of hum. I can't figure out if it's from the TV, if it's from the board here, if it's from the mini refrigerator over here. I thought it was the fluorescent, but I guess it's not, because I still kind of hear a hum. Maybe it's the on-air sign over here. That could be a new factor. Oh, I can hear it. Where is it coming from? I hear it in the headphones. Damn it. Man, I thought I figured it out. Oh well. It's a work in progress. The sound has, gotten progressively better from every podcast that I've done as a solo artist here. So I'll eventually figure out where the goddamn hum is coming from, but I thought for damn sure that it was the fluorescent light. I'm sorry, I'm pausing for a second. I'm still trying to figure it out. Where is it coming from? It's so irritating. It's so aggravating that I can't figure it out, but I'll get there. So what was I saying? Wine and Tapas. So every Monday night, Fleming Moore goes up there. He does an acoustic Monday. It's kind of a new thing they're doing. It's getting rolling. I think it's going to be a big thing once we can kind of get the word out and more musicians kind of come out. And what he'll do is he'll start the show off kind of like what he does at Homegrown on the singer songwriter series on Thursday nights. Whenever he shows up, people just come to play, So you'll have some other musicians up there. We had Tanner's always with him. He's playing fantastic, either acoustic or electric guitar out there. Kevin Flowers was out there today. Did 5 or 6 different solo instrumental kind of, well, not solo, because Tanner played a couple times, and I think Fleming even sat in and played the harp on a couple songs, but just kind of acoustic instrumental type stuff, and very soothing, very good, very talented guitarist there, Kevin Flowers, and had a great time. Vicky was taking care of us tonight. I think there was one of the bartenders was sick with a sick kid and sick herself, so Vicky was there kind of serving the drinks, and she took very good care of us. Chris was there doing the food, and a small little crowd, not as big as I'd like to see it. I want to see this thing kind of grow on Mondays. I know Monday is kind of a hard day to do things. People kind of go out for the weekend and they get tired and spend a lot of money, and then Monday comes, they got to go back to work, kids got to go to school, whatever. So it's kind of hard to get things started, but we're out there, and there was other people out there, so I think there's more people that could get out there. We want to start a movement here at Wine and Tapas and kind of get this thing moving and get the place packed out. Originally, Josh was kind of doing this thing, Josh Jarman, and they would set up on the door side, over kind of close to the door in the bar. You had a real good line of sight on the music, and you could hear it real well. What Fleming has done is he's moved it over to the other side where there's more room, kind of a dining room side to the bar there. And we just need to pack that thing out, man. I don't know what the problem is. And even tonight, there was a lot of people sitting at the bar, and I'm thinking to myself, why are you sitting at the bar? You can't even see the music, much less hear it. Come on around the corner to the tables there, and let's pack that place out on the other side and make those musicians feel welcomed and warm, and give them somebody to play to. They're also doing something cool where they're running a speaker outside on the sidewalk, so people can kind of hear that as they walk by, and hopefully that's going to draw some people in. I know we did the same thing at Homegrown this past Friday when Dan Riley was there. He brought his own speaker and an extension cord and put that speaker out on the sidewalk, and I had at least a handful of people that came in and said they came in, had never been there. They got drawn in just because of the music on the sidewalk and decided to come in and check it out. So it definitely works. We're going to do that more often, I think. Hopefully this Thursday and Friday and Saturday, because we're going to have music on Saturday with Paul Stone. We're going to put some music out on the sidewalk and draw those people in as well. So speaking of that, I just mentioned it. Paul Stone project, Paul Pietrofesso, is going to be playing a gig on Saturday at Homegrown. He's doing a CD release party or some single release parties, something, digital media, whatever. He's doing some giveaways where you can get some free downloads of that music instead of paying the 99 cents or whatever. You can get a free download. So that's going to be on Saturday. He normally plays the fourth Friday of the month at Homegrown, but this is going to be the fourth Saturday of the month. And he's actually coming on the podcast. He's going to be my first musical guest on since the split of Caleb and I. He's going to come on this Wednesday evening. We're going to record a podcast. He's going to play a few tunes for us. Hopefully I get the video working so you can see all that in all its glory. If not, you'll at least hear it. And we'll release that Friday morning so you'll be able to kind of hear it and get jammed up for what's going to happen on Saturday. So looking forward to that. Paul's a great guy. I was supposed to have another guest in here on Tuesday, tomorrow night. Well, it'll be tonight if you're listening to this tomorrow morning on Tuesday. So we're supposed to have Joshua Jarman coming in. He's got an album that just dropped, and he wanted to promote that guy. Had a conflict, scheduling conflict, so I'm not going to be able to get him in tomorrow. We've got him scheduled for next Tuesday. So the next Tuesday, we'll have Josh Jarman in, and I'll release that next Friday. So that will be the 20... No, I'm sorry. That's the 30th, 31st, 1, 2. I think that'll be the 2nd of November. So Josh Jarman will be coming out then. Paul Stone will be coming out this Friday, which will be the 26th. And then he'll be playing at Homegrown on the 27th. So get on over there. Don't wait for the podcast. Just go ahead and make your plans now to come out to Homegrown on the 27th and watch Paul Stone. Come check out our new food menu. And Caleb and I were talking tonight. We're looking at adding a special item to the menu. We were kicking around some ideas tonight. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be very island inspired, and by island I mean the Hawaiian Islands. So, send me some guesses on what you think that might be. craftconversationspod@gmail.com or my Facebook page or Instagram. You can make a comment on Podbean, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, iTunes, but send me an idea of what you think that special menu item might be from the Hawaiian Islands. So we're going to put that on the menu very soon. We're going to do a special day. Hopefully, we talked about maybe doing some trivia to kind of go along with it. So a lot of ideas floating around. We're trying to do new and exciting stuff over there at Homegrown and trying to just try and broaden the horizons of what Homegrown is and just make it a better place for everybody. For us, for you, for all the other patrons out there. So, Homegrown Brew House, 117 South Main Street. If I haven't said that before, get on out there. I work there. Caleb's there. We're going to start doing some podcasts from there eventually. It's a great place to go. Let's see. What else we got going on? Since we are doing ads, I guess we could do an ad for the Keto Dojo. It's on Facebook. You can go to Facebook, just go up to the search bar and type in the Keto Dojo, and it should be the first thing that pops up. Get in there. We're doing great stuff. We're trying to venture away from just doing the ketogenic diet. We want to kind of incorporate some other ways of eating. We want to try and incorporate intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting and some different things. I'm posting a lot of good science and videos up there right now. But hold on, let me take a sip of my new Belgium Tangerine IPA, Citradelic. I've drank it before. I'm drinking it out of the bottle tonight. That's the only thing that was in the fridge at the moment. So Tommy had bought it. My roommate said I bring one up and just kind of wet my whistle. Wet my whistle. What was I saying? So the Keto Dojo, yeah. So it's exciting news, man. I went to, and I didn't look it up. I should have pulled this fucking page up before I started talking about it. I'll see if I can pull it up while we're doing it. But I went to a VA appointment this morning. First time I've been there in 2 years. I'm supposed to do an annual follow-up, but they never called me. They normally call me every year and say, hey, you're due for your annual follow-up. Go ahead and make an appointment to come on in. They didn't do that this past year or this year. Well, I guess they did do it this year. That's why I got the appointment. But last year they didn't do it. So I kind of skipped that appointment. And it's not like I needed it, but it's kind of cool just to kind of follow up with those guys occasionally. And, you know, annually is a good thing to kind of get your physical and get things, get some blood work done and just have your ticker taken a look at and your prostate and, you know, all this kind of stuff for a man. So this was my annual follow-up, which is a year late. What was I looking at? Hold on just a second. Let's see. VA. I'm not going to say the rest of the words so you don't know what I'm talking about. But so I went in there today, and last time I was there, I guess, according to their records and the scale, which, you know, I had my phone in my pocket, I had my clothes on, jeans, a t-shirt. I even had a jacket on at this point. So what it showed was that I had lost 33 pounds since the last time I was in there. But really, realistically, it should have been about 40 pounds because, as you all know, I've talked about it on previous podcasts, I've lost 50 pounds on the keto diet and with fasting and stuff like that in between. And I put on about 10 pounds. I thought I got maybe a tad bit too lean, I thought. And so I decided to go ahead and put 10 of those pounds back on. So now I'm kind of at about a 192, 194 range at a 6'1" frame. So I feel like that's a good spot for me. But anyway, their records show that I lost 33 pounds. So the doctor that I see over there, German guy, I won't say his name, but he was super impressed. He's like, wow, what have you done? You know, I haven't seen you in a while. You look great. You look fantastic. You've lost 33 pounds since the last time we saw you. All your markers look good. Your blood pressure is fantastic. What have you been doing? So I told him, you know, what I've been doing. I told him about the ketogenic diet. I told him about the intermittent fasting, the extended fasting, high healthy fat, low carb, all those types of things. And he's like, man, that is fantastic. And that's, all the science is really showing that that's a great way to go. And kudos, and you're doing a great job. And he gave me a high five. He shook my hands like 4 or 5 times. Was telling his nurse about how the great job that I'd done. We were walking down the hallway. He's telling other people, hey, this guy's lost 33 pounds. He was literally jumping up and down and kind of doing stuff. So he was super excited about what was going on with me and was really excited. So excited, in fact, that he said, you know what? We've got this thing called the MOVE program with the VA where we're trying to get veterans to lose weight and to get in shape and improve their, get rid of their diabetes, their type 1, type 2 diabetes, and to fight PTSD and epilepsy and seizures and dementia and Alzheimer's and all these kinds of things. And he said, I'd like to recommend you to the person that runs the MOVE program here in Charleston, that maybe you could help to sit in on that program and tell your story and give some background and some science and some teaching on what you have done to improve your health and to improve your body composition, to lose weight, to get healthy, to get fit. And we would like you to kind of pass that on to the veterans here in the Low Country. So that was a cool thing. So I'm looking it up. It's called the MOVE, MOVE, exclamation point, weight management program. You can look it up on the internet, on the interwebs. It's www.move.va.gov. It's a Department of Veterans Affairs program. It's about eating wisely and striving for a healthy weight by eating wisely. So they have asked me to be part of that program and to kind of give some of my insight and some of my wisdom and some of my knowledge that I've gained just from self-study and those type of things, and my background in fitness and wellness from 21 plus years in the military, working in the physical and occupational therapy fields. So that's exciting. They're going to be getting in touch with me and talking to me about what we can do to get together and kind of help make this program more successful than it already is. And it's great. I'll be giving back to the local community and as well as giving back to the military, which has given so much to me over my life and kind of really shaped me into the person that I am. You know, it wasn't the only shaping that I had. Of course, my parents and various educators and teachers throughout my education, and just people in general. I don't know, YouTube, Facebook, podcasts, education. Formal education. Just a lot of different things. Even my son, my oldest son Brian, in the health and the fitness wellness industry, has given me some insight and some new ideas. So all these people combined, all rolled into one, has helped shape me into the person that I am and help me stay healthy and fit and whatever. So I want to pass that on to these veterans and hopefully help out some people that are struggling with their weight, with their health, with their fitness, with their mind, whatever. I just want to help people. That's what I'm out here for. That's what this podcast is all about, to help some people. Not some people, a lot of people, hopefully. So hopefully I'm going to get involved with that MOVE program. I'm waiting on a phone call from somebody. I have another in at the VA facility with a friend of mine that is going to put me in touch with whoever runs that program down there. So more to come on that. And I want to incorporate that into this podcast. I want to incorporate that into the Keto Dojo, which now has 434 members. I think the last number I gave you guys was 420. When we hit that number, we're now at 434, I think, as of today. I can take a look real quick and just make sure that's an accurate number. But doing good stuff, It's all about helping people. 433, I'm sorry. One less than what I thought, so. And with that, it's motivated me to kind of dial myself back in and, I don't know. I mean, some people call it lazy keto, but I wouldn't say falling off the wagon or falling off the rails. I'm flexible, I'm metabolically flexible. I kind of go back and forth between a little bit low carb, kind of medium carb, maybe even some high carb occasionally. But I think I'm metabolically flexible where I can kind of dip in and out of ketosis, and my body handles it okay. So if you can get to that point, that's great, because then you have more freedom and you have more leeway on the types of foods that you can eat. But so anyway, that all started off as a ad for the Keto Dojo. It's on Facebook. Get out there, take a look at it. People are having great success all day long, man. They're changing their lives, and that's what I want to do with these veterans. So hopefully that's going to come to fruition. Again, more to come on that. So more to come on that. But I mean, more to come. Well, let's take a look. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this thing. So what is MOVE? MOVE is a weight management health promotion program designed to improve the lives of veterans. MOVE's core ideas are encouraging healthy eating behavior, increasing physical activity, and promoting even small weight losses. It's easy to follow, based on the latest in nutrition science. With the help of your MOVE Care team, you can reduce health risks, prevent and reverse certain diseases, improve your quality of life, and even live longer. So that's what I'm trying to get involved with, guys. And I hope it turns out to be something, because I really want to help people. That's my number one goal, really. And I'll tie all that in at the end here with, of course, a Tuesday or Monday post by David Goggins. Of course, it'll be on a Tuesday release of the podcast. But so we'll tie kind of that fitness and move and nutrition thing into some David Goggins here in a minute. What else do I have here in my notes? So we talked about one in tapas already. My VA appointment, we talked about that already, so everything's looking good. I did a ton of blood work. The guy asked me, what kind of blood, if any, what kind of blood work I wanted to do. And I said, well, I'd like to do any and everything you can possibly do. I said, but the number one thing I'd like to do is I would like to do a test on, I'm not sure what the test is called, but it's a blood test where you can test your vitamins and minerals and see where you're deficient or not deficient, if that's the case. And he said, you know what, that's the only thing that I can't do for you. I cannot run that test without good reason to do so. And I'm thinking to myself, well, the good reason is because I want it done, because I've been doing this keto diet. I've lost 33 pounds according to your scales and to your records. I'd like to get it done just to see how everything looks, from what I'm doing, if I'm deficient in anything or if I'm meeting all my nutritional needs. But he wouldn't do it, so we did about, I think, 5 different blood tests, but that was not one of them, so I'm not going to get the vitamins and mineral test done. Hopefully I can go out to the base and get that done on my TRICARE Prime insurance. But so we're doing about 5 different blood tests, and then we're going to do, we did do a pee in the cup. We're doing a urine test as well, so that'll test some different things too. So hopefully I get some good information back and kind of see, the diet that I'm doing and the way of eating and the lifestyle that I'm living, if it has improved all my biomarkers, and just see how healthy I am. So looking forward to that. So that's the VA appointment today. Let's see. In line with that, my older brother Bruce, he did the Myrtle Beach half marathon this past weekend, 13.1 miles. He did it in an hour and 51 minutes. My goal for him, which I thought he could meet, was an hour and 50 minutes. His goal that he was shooting for, I think, was an hour and 55 minutes. He came in an hour and 51, so that's fantastic. Did a great job. I had made a comment to him on his Facebook page. He had posted the night before this giant pizza that he was eating, and of course drinking some beer and stuff. We love our craft beer. And I made a comment that you're still, quote unquote, running on carbohydrates, because I don't do that anymore. When I go out and do a Spartan race or do an endurance event, I'm running on it fat adapted at this point. So I'm running on ketones and fat adapted, using fat as fuel. I don't carb load and do all that kind of stuff that a lot of people do, still do these days, carb loading and things like that. So I just made a kind of a snide comment because I thought it was funny. And he said, yes, I'm still running, meaning I took it to mean, I don't know what he meant by that, but I took it to mean that you're not running anymore, so just shut your damn mouth and don't make any comments on what I'm doing, because I'm at least out here still running. And, it's a solid point. So I said, okay, it's a solid point. You're out there still running. Well, guess what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge you to a run, and let's see if your carbohydrates or my fat adaptation takes the cake, and let's both train for a ultra marathon. I threw it out there to him to do an ultra marathon down in the lower part of South Carolina, off of an island, 40-mile race in January. Well, I threw down the gauntlet, man. I'm like, come on, let's do it. And it was going to force me to get back into running and to really do some hardcore training again, which I haven't done in almost a decade. And guess what? Bruce has something to do that day, I guess. He's running the Charleston Half Marathon the week before that, and then he's got something a week after that. And I think something that same weekend. So he's kind of tied up, and I was kind of disappointed because I was really looking forward to maybe getting out there and doing an ultra marathon again. It's been a long time. I think 2012 maybe was the last ultra that I did. I do Spartan races and things like that, so I still do some endurance events, but I was looking forward to getting out there and just doing a straight running event. I was going to train from now until January. That was going to give me plenty of time, 3 months to 12 weeks or so to really kind of dial in and get ready for it. It was going to be on an island, kind of off trail, and some pavement and stuff as well. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I could do it by myself, but that's no fun. Although the very first 50 miler that I did was all by myself, and I had a blast just being on my own and being on my own head. The next couple ultras that I did were with my son, Alec, and that was good too, but we didn't stay together. So, I was pretty much on my own as well there. So even though I had somebody with me, I was still alone. So what can you do? What can you do? Can do, right? You go out there. If you stay together, you stay together. If you don't, then you're on your own. So, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling tonight, man. I don't know. I'm tired as hell. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. It is 12:53 in the a.m. I had a phlebotomy today. For this, I've talked about it before. Again, it's I have a blood disorder called polycythemia vera. I went in 2 months ago. That was on a 4-month cycle at that point. Went in and had my levels tested of my hematocrit, which is my hemoglobin, red blood cells essentially, and level was high as it has been for the past 3 cycles that I've gone in, and the doctor said, you know what, it's been consistently high on this 4-month schedule, so what I'd like to do is schedule you to come in every 2 months for the next 3 cycles and see if we can kind of get this thing under control and get these hematocrit levels back down to a normal level, because at the moment they're just, every time you come in, they're too high and you're at risk for heart attack and stroke and these types of things. So I'm going every 2 months now. So this was my first one at the 2-month level, and then I've got another one in the next 2 months, and then one more in the next 2 months, and then I'll have a follow-up to kind of see if things have decreased as far as red blood count and the viscosity of my blood, I guess. So I did that today. So I had a phlebotomy. Every time I do that, it kind of makes me a little bit anemic when I go in. So I feel like crap afterwards. And I wasn't horrible today compared to what I have been, which is a good thing. I didn't feel too great, when I first went in today. And then I had the phlebotomy done. Phlebotomy is where they just kind of take a lot of blood out of you to kind of thin the blood out and decrease that red blood count to where it's not too viscous and too thick. So I did that today, and it kind of, it takes a lot out of me for some reason. I get real big headaches. I think my blood flow just kind of increases, and I have more blood going to the brain, more blood going to the heart, so my heart starts to kind of increase. When I was in the VA this morning, my heart rate was like 54, which is superb. The average person's heart rate is about 72 beats per minute. Mine was going at 54 this morning, and then when I got to my cancer center appointment for the phlebotomy, it was about 64, or 61, I'm sorry, when they tested it. Well, as soon as I get the phlebotomy done and the blood starts flowing a little quicker, my heart rate starts to increase. I end up having more pounding in my head, and my head kind of aches, and I don't know. Just it's a lot. It's a pain in the ass. Let's just put it that way. But so I did that. I don't even know what my point was. What was my point? My point was, I just had a phlebotomy this morning, so I was just letting you know about that. And what was my point? I had a point. I don't know what it was. My point was, it's 12:57 at night now. I'm not feeling super hot because I had a phlebotomy. I guess that's what my point is. So I'm just trying to get something out there for tomorrow. So that's all I'm trying to do. With that said, I'm not going to keep you guys all night. I'm not going to keep myself all night because I need to get to bed. I have to work tomorrow. And I'm not feeling the greatest, really. I do have a new shirt on, though. I don't know if you can see it in the video. If we can get the video going. I made me a shirt, Craft Conversation shirt. So, got Craft Conversations logo on the left breast here on the front. I got a Carolina blue shirt. Feels very nice. It's very comfortable. On the back of it, if you've seen my business cards, I'll pull one out of my pocket. Nope. Yeah, I do have one in my pocket. I'll pull one out, kind of put it up to the camera here and see if you can see it. You've probably seen it on the video before. I'm going to dial way in here. Hold on. So that guy, if you saw it on the video, the back of my business card, that's what's on the back of my shirt. So, and it's kind of a similar color, really, to the shirt. So, kind of worked out good. I like it. I think I want a little bit different shirt. If you've seen me wear some of the shirts on the podcast, one of the shirts I wear is a Paragon Athletic shirt from my son Brian out there in Flagstaff, Arizona, at Paragon Athletics. That's where he works. I've got one of his shirts. I think it's a Next Level shirt. I believe it is. And then I also have a shirt from a band that was around a while ago called the Anns. And that's the band that Slayton Johnson was in, or that he fronted. He was the lead singer and guitarist of the band. And that shirt there is also a Next Level shirt. And I think, and matter of fact, Slayton does the music for this show. If you listen to the intro and the outro music, that's Slayton Johnson of the Anns. So those two shirts, the Paragon Athletic shirt and the Ann shirt, are both, I believe, the same company called Next Level. I love them. They fit phenomenally. They're super light, thin. They have a great texture to them. They feel very soft and just perfect shirts. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I did on this shirt, modify it just slightly, and do that on the Next Level shirt. So if anybody's interested in the shirt, if you can see this on the podcast, you can see the chest here. I'll stand up and kind of get a back shot here, if I can. This chair is in my way, but that's the back. If you can see it, maybe not. Who knows if I'm going to get video going? And I'll put the front and the back of the shirt on the Instagram when I post this tomorrow, so you'll see it. Don't worry. If you don't get the video, I'll get it up on Instagram. I got the pictures of the, when I was designing it, so you can still see it. And, you might not even care, but if you do care and you like the design of the shirt and you think you would like one, send me an email, craftconversationspod@gmail.com, or you can send it on Facebook or Instagram or podcast or Spotify or Apple iTunes. Send me a message saying, hey, man, I love the shirt. I like it. I'd like to advertise for you. I'd like to wear one. I think it would be cool. It's a great shirt. Send me the message, and we'll see what we can do to get one out to you. All right? So we can do that. All right, let's wrap this thing up. We're 38 minutes in. I know you guys love it when I tell you how far along we are. We're going to do David Goggins, and we're gonna close this bitch out. So, all right, here we go. Again, I have not read this yet, so I apologize if I skip over some words or I mess things up or I don't quite get the tone of what he's saying, but we're going to try it out. I'm going to drink a little sip of this beer real quick, and then we're going to go into it. All right, here we go. So on this one, he's got a little disclaimer. Do not overthink this message. That's in big capital letters. So let's see what he says here. There are a lot of us who love finding a way out. Once an issue arises, whether it be medical, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, etc., we take that easy out. We don't try to find a way through, over, or around the fucking issue. I was born with a few medical issues that I had to figure out a way through and around to get where I am today. One of the issues I deal with is Raynaud's disease. I got this from being in I got this from being in 3 hell weeks, going to ranger school in the wintertime and tons of cold weather and water training throughout my military career. Whenever my body gets cold, it goes straight to survival mode. All the blood in my body goes through straight to my core to protect my major organs. So at temps below 55 degrees, my hands and feet are fucked. For several years during my winter runs, I layered my hands with 5 pairs of gloves covered with a wool sock on top, with little relief. I could have easily taken a different route. Instead, I still chose to run in races like Frozen. Wait a minute. I could have taken... I always fuck this up. I could have easily taken a different route. Instead, I still chose to run in races like Frozen Otter, where the temperature was 10 below zero. I recognize a lot of people have different medical and physical issues. Some are permanently disabled. Others have some limitations that truly limit their physical capabilities, etc. A lot of people comment on my post, "What do I do if I have XYZ issue?" My response is this: I am not saying to be me and do what I do. I am not... Oh my God, I fucked this thing up so badly. A lot of people comment on my post, "What do I do if I have XYZ issue?" My response is this: I'm not saying to be me and do what I do. I am saying do whatever it is you can possibly do given your particular and unique situation. Challenge yourself in a different way. If you happen to be in a wheelchair and your arms still work, try doing a 5K and get your upper body jacked. For me, I struggle to learn in a traditional classroom setting and with reading comprehension. Some people can hear something and it all just clicks. Yeah, well, that isn't me. I need to get my books in advance of classes and spend endless hours writing the content from the textbooks word for word in countless notebooks. I need to rely on my ability to recall the content from having written it over and over again. Don't let whatever disability you have, be it mental or physical, cause your mind to close to the possibilities. There is always something we can do to better ourselves. We must never, ever, ever feel sorry for ourselves for whatever situation we are dealing with. Once your mind closes, you will become a prisoner within your own mind and unable to unshackle it. So there you go. Whatever your limitations, whatever your disability, whatever your struggles, your obstacles, find a way over them. Find a way to get over them. You know, I run Spartan races with my sons. And my ex-wife, actually, we ran, and countless friends. We've done these Spartan races, but you get out there and you run let's say a Spartan sprint. It's a 3+ mile race. You got 20+ mile obstacles. You run a Spartan Super. You have 8+ miles. You have 25+ obstacles. You run a Spartan Beast. You have 12+ miles. You have 30+ obstacles. Well, guess what? You get out on that course. You got 2 options when you come up to an obstacle. Number one, you can fail that obstacle and you can do a penalty, or you can get over that obstacle, or get around that obstacle, or get through that obstacle, get over that obstacle. Whatever that obstacle is, you have to somehow conquer it. How do you do that? Well, number one, you do that by training for those obstacles before you even get there. That way, you're mentally tough, you're physically tough, you've trained on it, you've experienced it, you've done it. It's no big deal when you get out there and you see that obstacle right in front of you in real life, in real time. Number two is you find a way to modify and get yourself over, under, around, through that obstacle as well. Sometimes that's with help from somebody else. Sometimes you cannot physically do that obstacle. You have to have help from somebody, but guess what? With help from that somebody, you get over it. You do it. So whatever the obstacle is in life, whatever the obstacle is in whatever race that you're doing or event that you're doing, you just got to find a way. You have to mentally and physically find a way. Don't give up. Get through however you have to get through. whether it's just one hand, two hands, all four hands and feet, a buddy helping you out, a wheelchair, if it must be a wheelchair, if that's what you're bound to. Find a way through those obstacles. You can do it. It's usually just a mental block. That's the biggest thing. It's not even a physical block. It's mentally. You don't think you can do it. Train, get through it, get over it, get under it, get it through it, get around it. Don't let obstacles stand in your way. Don't let obstacles stand in your way. I guess that's the key. I don't know. That's the theme. That's what Goggins is trying to say. You have limitations. You have 6 fingers instead of 10. You have 1 foot instead of 2. You have no legs. You're in a wheelchair. You're mentally a little bit handicapped. You can still get over any obstacle that's in front of you. You just have to find a way. You have to modify. You have to adjust. You have to accommodate. You have to find a way. I think that might be the name of this episode. Find a way. All right. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. I would appreciate any feedback that you have. Hit me up on all the platforms I've already mentioned twice here in this episode. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you want me to go from here. Get ready. Paul Stone coming up, and on Wednesday you're going to hear his episode. On Friday he's going to play some good music for us, some blues. I'm looking forward to that, man. We're going to have some guests back here sitting across the table from me. It's been way too long, and I am so looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys very soon.